Today I want to talk about this new deal with Best Buy and Apple. So if you haven't heard today, Apple announced that they're authorizing about 1,000 Best Buy stores, or I believe it's all the Best Buy stores, to be Apple authorized service providers. Now this greatly increases the amount of Apple authorized service providers. So like before, you could be several hours from an Apple store, and now chances are, from what the article said, 8 out of 10 Apple customers are now going to be within 20 minutes of an AASP, which is an Apple authorized service provider. Now, you see a whole bunch of these independent repair stores that are just flipping out today and thinking that the sky is falling and that it's the end for them and this and that, and they're just panicking, and that is a really silly thought. Now, there's a few reasons for this. For one, not much is going to change. So, you have to think about something, or at least in my business or in the services I offer, that's not going to mean anything. Apple and Apple authorized service providers are going to do the same nonsense they always have. So my local Best Buy, which is probably about 5 to 10 minutes from the store, that store has been Apple authorized for pretty much as long as I can remember, and I don't think I've heard a single person that has had a positive experience dealing with them with a MacBook issue. So, for example, someone came in here. They were leaving to another country in a few days. It was an A1502. Their trackpad and keyboard randomly stopped working. They quoted 6 weeks because it was a motherboard issue. They said it was a motherboard issue. It had to be sent out to Apple, and that's going to take about 6 weeks to have it repaired. Well, they brought it here. It had a bad trackpad cable. I replaced it at the counter. They were in and out within 5 minutes. Now, this is the thing with Apple authorized service providers. It's the same nonsense as the Apple Store. So what I mean by this is, for one, they don't really fix stuff there. They just send it out. They're really, really limited at what they can do. And this is the case with Apple authorized service providers too. They can't change. I think the only thing they can do on MacBooks in-house is batteries. I could be wrong. They may not even be able to do that. It may be just solely battery replacements. And this is something that people think, well, if they're Apple authorized, this must be the end for my business, for everything. Everybody's going to go to an Apple authorized service provider, and I'm going to have to close, and this and that. This is the attitude you see from these repair stores, and that it's a silly attitude because so I would say probably about 80% of the local customers I get have already been to an Apple authorized service provider first before coming here. So they either go to the Apple Store or Best Buy or something like that. I've even had people ship stuff from, maybe like 30 miles away that have been to an Apple authorized service provider that have been just completely ripped off. I had a customer that they had I think it was a 2012 Retina, 2012 13-inch Retina that was the really unreliable A1425, where the first one ran diagnostics and said that it needed a new logic board. The second one came out and showed the customer some piece that they said, this is burnt, this is the problem in your computer, and it's going to be 800 to fix or whatever. Both of these were Apple authorized service providers, not independent repair service providers. So they sent it here. Guess the issue. The trackpad cable needed to be reseated, not replaced. Just wasn't seated all the way. It probably fell, popped out a little bit, put it up, reseated it, worked fine, never came. So one thing you have to understand is the level of service at an Apple authorized service provider is a lot different than with a skilled independent repair shop. For example, you have to remember the person at the Apple authorized service provider, so usually the person that's going to be diagnosing your device is probably going to be someone paid close to minimum wage that really doesn't know their stuff. And if you're a skilled independent repair shop like mine, or let's say Lewis's, or just a bunch of other shops, the customer will go to there and then see you. They will see a huge difference in how that shop is run. It's not going to be, walking into a counter where someone is going to try and plug in a USB device and say, oh, look, it failed this. Here's a $1,700 repair quote because you need a new motherboard and this and that, and just everything they quote. So when you, like, for example, liquid damage device, from what I've heard or what I've been told, if it's liquid damaged, anything that can be damaged, they'd have to be replaced. So that includes the screen, that includes the top case with the keyboard, the battery, the touch bar, the trackpad, everything else, and the logic board. So it's essentially a full unit replacement. So especially on the newer devices where you lose your data. So on the new touch bar boards, here's one right here, your data is stored on the SSD, which is soldered onto the board. We have several NAND chips on the board, and that is your SSD. So when a store tells someone that or if a repair store like an Apple authorized service provider says, your board is going to need to be replaced, all your data is gone. Do you really think they're going to try and look for options when someone says that, it is $1,700 to fix, which is almost the same cost as a brand new machine, and they say all your data is going to be gone, there's no way you get this back, the consumer is most likely going to look for another option. Now, from what I've heard, what I've seen from my Best Buy and this and that, the people giving you this estimate, they're generally not very experienced, and you can usually tell by talking to them. If a customer goes to them, like I said before, and goes to you, there's a good chance that they're going to come to choose you over the Apple authorized service provider because they will see a difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these articles right here. So this, yeah, it says Best Buy stores will soon offer Apple certified repairs, which a lot of times is not different than what's already been going on. I mean, most Best Buys, like I said, mine has been certified. I think the one 30 miles from here near the Apple store is also certified. It's the same stuff. Not much is going to change. So this basically says that Apple has announced that they're partnering with Best Buy in a push to expand its service network. Customers can now choose from nearly 1,000 Best Buy stores across the U.S. for service and repairs on Apple products. As part of the expansion, Best Buy's Geek Squad has nearly 7,600 newly Apple-certified technicians who can make same-day iPhone repairs and service other Apple products, as we learned this spring. Best Buy will also collect iPhone, whatever, I don't care about that. The partnership will be especially appreciated in places where the closest Apple store away, like Yuma, Arizona, Sioux City, Iowa, Twin Falls, Idaho, or the line at the Genius Bar is longer than you'd like. Though in addition to the Apple retail stores, there are over 1,800 third-party authorized service providers in the U.S. That's 3 times as many locations as 3 years ago. According to the company, 8 out of 10 Apple customers will be within 20 minutes of an Apple authorized service provider. And here we have an official article from Apple themselves. It basically says the same exact thing. However, let's read this. At Apple, we are dedicated to providing the best customer service in the world. If a customer ever needs to repair their products, we want them to feel confident those repairs are done safely and correctly. We're always looking at how we can reliably expand our network of trained technicians and are excited to partner with every Best Buy store so it's even easier for our customers to find an Apple authorized location or an authorized repair location near them. So it says right here that they are expanding to every Best Buy store across the U.S. Let's see what else. Anything else notable here? Apple certified repairs at an Apple store and Apple authorized service provider are performed by trained experts who use genuine Apple parts. Every repair is backed by Apple. Trained experts. So I'm going to link a video in the description of this. I may even play it. I don't know if I'll play it, but I'll at least show it in a little bit parts of it in the video. So all the time you get stuff by Apple that is misdiagnosed. All the time. Non-stop. Probably I'd say a good 70% of the stuff that they say is a logic board issue is not, or it's something silly. They misdiagnose stuff all the time. So there was this one customer that sent their device here that had this is the one I did a video on. I actually interviewed him on it. He brought it to the Genius Bar complaining of intermittent trackpad and keyboard. They wiped his SSD. They didn't say we were going to wipe your SSD. They didn't. All they said is, do you have it backed up? They wiped the SSD, and then they gave it back to him and said, guess what? You need a new logic board. You need this and that. Bad trackpad cable, misdiagnosed. What I'm getting at here is this whole trained expert thing at Best Buy and this. When you have that many people, so it's really hard to train all those people that work at Geek Squad in the Apple stores to know what they're doing, because for one, there's a large amount of technicians that are just stupid. That's all there is to it. And that we're going to see that same kind of stuff. People are going to get turned away by misdiagnosing right now there's a culture shift. More and more people are realizing the truth about Apple stuff, about the repairs, how some of it's not necessary, and if we all keep fighting, more and more people are going to realize this, and that's already happening right now. It's going to keep happening. It's not going to change. It's not going to diminish. Every customer that walks into the Apple store that's quoted $1,700 to repair, a new device, which is the same cost of a new one, you repair it for $400. They're happy. They're going to tell their friends. If someone makes a comment to them, or if anyone makes a comment to them and says, hey, Apple just quoted me this much, they're going to tell you, independent, go to this shop or go to independent repair. There's other options. There's not just Apple. So for a while, and there's still this little thing is still kind of going around with some people. People believed people believed, and some still do believe, that only Apple can touch um, MacBooks and other devices. They just believe that they believe they're so special that only Apple knows what they're doing on them, and that is starting to change, and that will continue to change. I already believe it's kind of, yeah, it's already far enough in that where a lot of people know that there's other options out there. The word of mouth is out there, the content online is out there, that people just know there's other options now. So when they say, some services on Apple devices, what they usually mean, on iPhones. This is my guess. It can't be for sure. They're probably going to be doing battery replacements, screens, and that's it. We're not talking about anything else. Pretty much anything else, logic board related, charge port related, anything like that, they're not going to do there. I almost guarantee it, they're not going to do that there. Same thing with MacBooks. They're probably not going to be able to service anything on the new MacBooks. They're probably going to classify those as inserviceable in-house, so those would have to go to the depot. I can't see a Best Buy store offering. Honestly, I wouldn't even think that a Geek Squad would be capable of taking out a board on any 1706 and having it still work after it's put back together, but maybe I'm wrong. I really don't think on stuff like that with logic board issues, I don't think they're going to do those in-house. I think those are still going to have to be sent to the depot, as it always has with the case of my Best Buy, which is an Apple authorized service provider. They don't do board replacements in-house. They don't do. I think the only thing they can do is like a battery replacement on a MacBook Air. Maybe they can do top case replacements. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure just batteries and screens. I'm 90% sure that is all that they're going to be doing MacBook-wise, is batteries and screens. Same with iPhones, batteries and screens. I don't really see them going above that, but we can expect this same exact nonsense that comes from the Apple Store, which is high repair quotes, unnecessary repair quotes for things that are not broken, and the same nonsense tier 3 and tier 4 pricing, which is, based on liquid damage or not liquid damage, and that's going to turn customers away. So if you have a repair store, should you really be panicking now? No. Do I care? No. I could honestly care less. That isn't going to affect my business. It's probably not going to affect your business. If you are just a screen swapper and nothing else, I don't know. Maybe now's the time to start looking into other things. Figure out a way that you can make your business better. Make your service better than what they are offering, and you won't have anything to worry about. Whether it's same day repairs. So they're saying same day. Well, it's probably going to be same day, but I could imagine that there's going to be times where it's not going to be. They're going to be too busy, just like the Apple stores are. So make your service better than theirs, and you won't have anything to worry about. The pricing alone, stuff for like data recovery, board repair, you guys aren't gonna have anything to worry about. I could guarantee that. Nothing's gonna change. It's silly to think this guy is falling over this, and that's why I'm making this video, because it's just a silly thought. I mean, it's nothing to worry about. It's probably gonna end up in a disaster. Let's give it a few months and see what happens, but I could only imagine how much stuff is going to get broken by the morons at Geek Squad. I'm expecting that we're going to see a lot of older MacBooks, probably blown backlight fuses from plugging in the screens with the battery unplugged. Probably on the newer ones, like this A1708, probably going to see a lot of dead CPUs from plugging in the screen connector with the battery plugged in or on or something. That's probably going to happen. So just give it time. It's probably not going to last. That's my prediction, but I'm guessing that a lot of stuff is going to end up getting screwed up, as typical with those places, but we will see. So thank you for watching, and also that one video I am going to pull up right now. I'm also going to link it in the description, so let's find this right now. What's the title of this video? Let me find it. Where is it here? So, Apple Store quote $700 for a $4 cable. The title of the video is Genius Bar wipes drive, then quotes for logic board replacement. That video is on my channel. You could find that right here, actually. So, let me show you on display capture. So right here, this is the title of the video. I'm going to link this in the description as well. And if you haven't watched this video, watch this video. And then, yeah, that's about it for today. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.